Before we crack on with today's video, I'm going to draw the winner of the Game Fleece, a competition we ran a few weeks ago, in conjunction with Jon from Baileys Country and Shooting Wear, who incidentally also has his own YouTube channel. So while you're in isolation after watching this video, of course, you should go ahead and check out his channel. I'll put a link in the video's description. Now, there have been literally hundreds of people entered this competition, and while I've had some time on my hands, I've put all of those names into a fairly comprehensive list, as you will see, and numbered everybody between 1 and 386. I've put all of the numbers into the supercomputer, Mrs.'s phone, and stop. 107. Let's consult the list. And as you can see, we stopped it at 107. Put that over there a minute. 107 on the list is on this sheet, and it is Stephen Howlett. So well done, Stephen Howlett. We will arrange to get this fleece out to you as soon as possible. One last thing, as promised, a couple of quick shout outs. The first one is to young Owen Smith from Instagram, as promised. Thumbs up, buddy. Also a shout out to SJ Pest Control, and thank you very much once again for the rat invite a few weeks ago, guys. Check out Steve's latest video on his channel. Again, I'll put a link in the description below. A shout out to Rick's boys, Jake and Kieran. Hopefully you're watching at home and staying safe. And last but not least, Gemma, looking gorgeous as ever in her Team Foxer hoodie. Thank you very much for those. If you want a shout out in a future video, please ping me a message. This time I'll write them down so I actually remember to do it next time out. Right, without further ado, let's crack on with today's video. Now,
they begin a kamikaze spree that dwarfs anything before or since.
we're going over there. Right, well, we've just met and drawn pegs. I've drawn the spinney nearest to home. And this morning there was a lot of pigeons here, so I'm going to flip round and just show you, because there's a load in the spinney now. I actually shot this spinney 2 years ago and I've got over 100. There's a lot of pigeons in it this morning, but that doesn't mean everything, because one shot and the lot could be gone. But we're going to get set up and see where we go. Keeper's now opening the gate for me, but they're all starting pouring out. I'll just spin round so you can see it. All pouring out. You don't need me to show you how to set up the hide. You can see that in the last pigeon shooting video. However, this time out, the bank here, as you can see, angles down, and I couldn't get comfortable on the chair or in a decent position, so I had to dig myself into the bank. And in doing so, the pigeons started coming in pretty much straight away. So I spent a few minutes trying to dig myself into the bank at the same time as taking out the first initial pigeons that came along, so I could add them to my pattern. Get these in the pattern. First thing in the morning, there was still a bit of wind around, so they were proving quite tricky, and some of them were even coming in high and into the trees just above me. Again, proving very tricky, trying to get them in between the branches.
There's an old mill several hundred metres in front of this field here, of which causes several feral pigeons to come over and have a look every now and then. That one was a bit close. What I like about my Winchester SX3 semi-auto is I've got it quite short, no shims in the butt, making it quick to shoulder. It was about at this point the keeper texted me to ask me how I was getting on, and I replied things were going quite well. I actually kept looking at this one here. As you will see, it drops miles away.
What?
Well, I thought to myself, I've got time for another one here, and then I'd better go and retrieve that one. And I did, and as you can see, it landed miles away from my location. As you can hear me heavy breathing here, I really must get some exercise in this year. As you can see, I get back to the hide now eventually, and I think it blends in quite well. A nice easy entrance and exit to my left. Just look how high these ones come down from here as one peels off and comes close enough to me to think about taking a shot. A couple of convincing thuds there as those two hit the deck. I think it was at this precise moment in time the main flock decided to make a return trip. Just look at how many come in here.
Now.
The behaviour of this bird here very indicative of a headshot as it cartwheels over itself backwards.
Robin.
It's kind of ironic really, because I'd actually shot quite well up until the point where the gamekeeper came and sat with me, had a bite to eat, and then we took it in turns for each other to have a go, 5 each.
Beauty.
Yeah. Oh, look, grasshopper.
Coming lovely and old, isn't it?
I know, I see him. Yeah.
Oh, yes! Come back round. Oh, fucking hell! Fell up and cheer. No, didn't get.
Oh, yeah. Take him. Look at that.
Well, decoy. Dusty.
Right, it was time for another quick pickup before Steve got himself in the chair. And check this out, you've only ever seen Steve run twice in his life. Once to go and pick up some pigeons, the second one just before the chip shop closes.
"40 years old."
Is it really?
Yes. Yep, bought it when I was 19.
Back in 1912.
Yeah, 1906.
Pretty much all the ones we'd shot from here on in we actually brought into the hide because there was plenty now out in the pattern, and it almost started to look a little bit untidy. Plus it would mean extra work when it came round to picking up time.
Well done.
Steve bagging himself another double there, followed by an unusual miss. He actually shot pretty well, but don't let him hear me tell you that. Anyway, it was time after a spot of lunch and Steve readjusting the decoys for me to get back in the driving seat.
I didn't have my gun shoulder in the gun. I didn't have my gun in my shoulder. I went like that. I shot it like this.
You got him. Start shooting like that other wall. Nice one.
Looks like both of us need to get a teeth in.
Very nice.
Very.
Look at these coming in. Look. Got one down.
They're coming in better since we moved them decoys.
Yeah, you're
Dead
right.
cert. They ain't nothing.
No. I'll just wing it.
Oh, I've been laughing and burnt me nuts.
Well, that serves you right for taking the mick out of me and drinking my flask of tea.
Here he comes. There's two. What about his mate? His mate.
He's down.
Oh, what a shot! Headshot. Don't mind my looks. I thought I won't bring me earplugs. I won't be getting many shots. I'm near death.
Two out front. Look. What?
Ooh, left and right. Go and collect your birds up then. Went on my own, had an air. Lovely. Had an air.
Whoa, fucking hell, Stephen.
He's coming in. Here he comes. Mayday, mayday. Oh! Decoys. Nick, he's coming up the edge. Hit the decoys. Hit the decoy. Hit the decoy. Over here. Oh, bang. Oh, look at them feathers. That's only 4, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, as we got into the later part of the afternoon, Steve and myself had to get back. You know what women are like. So we took a good look over our sea of pigeons and started to get picked up. all in all, and once we'd counted, taking out the 9 decoy birds that we'd started with, we'd managed to amass a bag of 101 pigeons picked up. There were a couple in the spinney, of which were retrieved the following day by Rick and his dogs, but I think that's a pretty good bag. I don't know about you. That's certainly not many days I've had over the 100. Thank you very much for watching. Oh yeah, check this out. This is the picture of the gun. It was absolutely filthy, but didn't take long to clean it. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and as always, happy shooting.